Hello students, welcome to online class. In fact, I will tell that revision class. In previous video lessons, you got the revision of history chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and civics also some chapters we have revised, and in geography also chapters are revised. Civics chapter 3 is very important and it's interesting also. So let's start the revision of this chapter. Today I have not taken that detailed learning. I have taken HOTS of from extra marks. So you will get deeper points from this chapter. Legislative Council. In India, the legislature of some states comprise only a legislative assembly, while that of other comprise both legislative assembly and legislative council. It means to say that in India, we are having bicameral and unicameral both. Some states are having bicameral and some states are having only unicameral. Suppose I give you example of Gujarat, our state, it has a unicameral, means we are having only legislative assembly. But in some state like Madhya Pradesh, they are having legislative assembly also and legislative council also. Okay. The Legislative Council or Vidhan Parishad is the upper house of the state legislature. It is a partly nominated and partly elected body, as nearly 5/6 of its members of Legislative Council are elected and the remaining 1/6 is nominated. The Legislative Council is a permanent body which cannot be dissolved. Its members are elected for a term of 6 years. Every second year, third of its members who complete their term retire. Elections are then held to fill up their seats. Often in India, the territories of the country are divided into constituencies. What are constituencies and why are they necessary? Right? In that lesson, you learn that what is the meaning of constituencies. So let's see the explanation. Constituencies are smaller areas which are carved out in each state. During elections, people in a constituency elect their representative, who becomes a member of Legislative Assembly or member of Parliament. Constituencies are created for the purpose of election, administrative convenience, efficient governance, to ensure proportional representation of population in the state or national assemblies. Right? That's why the state is divided into different parts and each part is known as constituency. There are 3 levels of functionaries in a state government in India, including that of the governor. Explain the role and importance of a state government. State governor. Actually, I asked this question while I was explaining this lesson also. See the explanation. The governor is the nominal head of the state. He or she is not an elected office holder, but is appointed by the president of the country for a term of 5 years. So governor is a nominal head of the state. Overall head of the state, nominal head, for name it is governor. And he or she is not an elected office holder or elected person, but appointed by president of the country for a term of 5 years. All executive action in the state are carried out in the name of the governor. In case of misgovernance, the governor may declare a state of emergency in the state. Right? You can compare as a president of country and governor of state. The governor forms the link between the center and the state. In any Indian state, the chief minister along with his cabinet ministers comprise the executive branches of the state government. Now, from this what we can understand, the relation between the cabinet ministers and the chief minister. The chief minister is recognized as the de facto leader of the cabinet government in an Indian state. For any particular state, he is considered as the chief. The governor appoints the ministers to cabinet government on the advice of the chief minister. The chief minister is the keystone of the cabinet government. He presides over the cabinet meeting. He directs the implementation of the policies of the state government and coordinate the working of the various departments in it. So as a leader, as a chief, he has to coordinate all the departments, he has to provide, he has to appoint different cabinet ministers. In the United States, there is a system of check and balance to counteract the power of each organ of the government. Now, how is power check in India? Are there any check on the power of the ruling party? What do you think, student? Is there any check? Let's see. In any democracy, including India, there are several checks on the ruling party. Opposition parties in the legislature keep a close eyes on the action and policies of the government. Simultaneously, the media also keeps the people informed about the government's policies and schemes. It also highlights the government's merits and demerits on the condition that media is without any bias. Media should be without any bias. If a government is unable to cope with the demands of the people, they can vote them out of power during elections. So this is how the check system is there in democracy and even in India also. Here you can see people are watching news. There was a commotion in the assembly over the minister's controversial statement. Walkout, protest, throwing of chairs is common in state legislatures in India. You must have seen in different assemblies, right? Legislative assembly and even Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha also you must have checked. Who is responsible for maintaining decorum in the legislative assembly? Are there any provisions in the constitution regarding conduct of members? Yes, there are disciplinary rules. Now see, the legislative assembly has a speaker and deputy speaker elected by the house. You remember I have given a note for Gujarat state, in that you have written the name of speaker, chief minister, name of speaker. Each and every assembly, state assembly are having speaker and deputy speaker. General rules for conduct of business in the legislative assembly councils are listed in the constitution. The speaker has the power to discipline members who break the rules of the house. Recently there was one session was going in Lok Sabha, not in legislative but in Lok Sabha, and speaker, because these members were not listening and they were being overwise, so speaker put them out for some days. There are rules of procedures and conduct of business in the legislative assembly. Like you are having rules for classroom, we are having rule for any other assembly. Same rules for legislative assembly also. Under the disciplinary measures, MLA can be dismissed for contempt of assembly, misconduct in the house. Mostly these two charges are there. You can see here some leaders are speaking to the people and citizens reading things from newspaper. A coalition government will be the form in the state. Now we'll discuss about the coalition government. But I doubt that such a government will be able to complete its full term. Many times it's happened that for making their party as a ruling party, they started joining, they make alliance, but they are not able to, because there are always clashes for power, for being a chief minister, for being having some post. Coalitions are not stable, justified. Let's see the explanation. Coalition government. First, what is the meaning of coalition government? Coalition government is a government in which several parties, political parties, form an alliance. Such an arrangement is made when no party is able to secure clear majority in the legislature. That you all have noted down it. That when one single party do not secure clear majority, then they form alliance with other political party. A coalition government might also be created in a time of national difficulties or crisis. Majority government formed by a single party are more stable as the differences can be resolved within the single party. Most of the time, if a single party is a ruling party, they can resolve their clashes easily. within the party. But when two other party, 2, 3, 4 party, they are having alliance, then there are very difficult. It is very difficult to resolve the clashes. Coalition governments are short-lived because of ideological differences between parties. Coalitions come into existence because they are a political necessity, but coalition partners may have mutually conflicting interests. There are often conflicts between the interests of the smaller and larger parties. Yeah, practically we are seeing, right, in case of Maharashtra, in case of Uttar Pradesh. Now see here. In the Delhi Assembly, the AAP has scored an apathic victory, winning 67 out of 76. Opposition parties, if they play a constructive role, check abuse of power by the ruling party. They voice different views and criticize government for its failures or lapses in its policies, shape public opinion and highlight important issues, help people to access the government machineries and the various welfare schemes implemented by the government. So this is the role, these all points are the role of opposition, right? No doubt ruling party is most important, but opposition is also not less important. It is also as important as governing party. Opposition parties mobilize opposition to the government and put pressure on the government to act in a public interest. They point out corruption and inefficiency in the ruling party and make the government answerable. I'll be voting for the first time, but I'm confused between so many parties and symbols. This is the common confusion dilemma of citizen or voter. To whom vote? Read the party manifestos and then make the right decision. So what we will see when we are casting a vote? Before casting a vote, we need to read the party's manifestos and what promises they are making, what is their working style. Then only we have to take right decision. Why do you think political parties are important in a democracy? So now, first you saw the opposition role, now see the political parties role. All democracies have political parties. Democracy is meaningless if citizens do not have choice between parties in election. Rise of political parties is directly linked to the emergence of representative democracies. Large societies need representative democracies, especially like India. As societies became large and complex, they needed some agencies to gather different views on various issues and to formulate policies. They need some ways to bring various representatives together so that responsible government can form. A mechanism is needed to make policies, implement them, justify or oppose them. Political parties fulfill this need of every representative democracy. Overall allegations of the corruption, the opposition has demanded dismissal of the state government. See here you can see the reaction of the political party. If the corruption charges are true, the government must go at once. As a citizen, what we are thinking that it's so much corruption is there on this ruling government, the government must go at once. Is there any provision in Indian constitution through which powers of state are suspended? Yes, state emergency. We have in our constitution we have this provision. Let's see. Article 356 of the constitution provides that on the recommendation of governor, precedent rule can be imposed in state. Powers of state government are suspended during precedent's rule or emergency. Emergency refers to a situation in which the government of the state cannot be carried on in accordance with the provision of constitution. Right? So the third point is important for your exam purpose. What is the meaning of emergency? Emergency in state refers to a situation in which government of the state cannot be carried on in accordance with the provision of the constitution. It means failure of state machinery. Emergency may arise due to misgovernment or maladministration by the ruling party. Vote of no confidence passed against the government. During emergency, the central government takes charges of the state. Center has often used this provision to dismiss state government or has used the office of the governor to prevent majority party or coalition from assuming office. Now see another case. Arjun, I'll be going for election duty as assembly polls are around. But mom, didn't we have election last year in which the government was formed? Yes, but those were Lok Sabha election in which the central government was formed. Now through this election a new government will be formed in the state. So mother is talking about the state election. I am still confused. Why do we need two types of government? Right? So there are division of powers between state and center. Right? Our Indian government is three tier. Local self-government, state government and central government. So we can say the decentralization of power. Considering the vast size, regional and linguistic diversity of India, framer of Indian Constitution decided to divide powers between the central and state government. The division of power between state and central is called federalism. There are two sets of government in India. One for entire nation, that is called central government. Student, you will learn all about central government in form 8, and one each for state called state government that you are learning in this form. Subjects are divided between union and state, means on which subject union will take decision, central government will take decision, and on which subject state government will take decisions. So these are the list. And judiciary is independent from all this. Now see the another situation. I have read that Mussolini's Italy and Hitler's in Germany had gagged the media. Yes, Aarti, that's the truth. But why did they do so? So that no one could question their style and functioning. When there is a dictatorship or there is a monarchy, so press, media is totally banned or they are restricted. But in democracy, press, media, they are having full independence. The press plays very important role in the proper functionings of the government. Every government is concerned about the public opinion. The grievances of the public are expressed through the media. The government is under pressure to address the grievances of the public. A negative report in newspaper or television can change the opinion of public. Right? If we continually see in newspaper, read in newspaper, see in news channel, we will also change our opinion about the government. The leader also conveys the steps taken by the government through press conference. On the other hand, government can also take help of the press conference, and they can pass on their messages to the people. In this way, media plays a link between government and public. Right? Government directly cannot come to us and tell that we have done like this, but through newspaper, through media, they are providing us all the information. So now I am showing you two videos related to this how state government work. So let's see.
Every state in India has a legislative assembly. Each of the state is divided into different areas of constituencies. A representative from each constituency is elected by the people. The elected representative then becomes a member of the legislative assembly, commonly known as an MLA. These MLAs belong to different political parties. A political party whose MLAs have won more than half the number of constituencies is as the majority. This winning political party is called the ruling party, and all the other members are called the opposition. After winning the elections, the MLAs of the ruling party elects their leader, who is appointed as the chief minister of the state. The chief minister and other ministers runs various government departments. They have separate offices. MLAs from both ruling and opposition parties discuss various issues related to the state in the Legislative Assembly. State legislature has exclusive power to make laws on subjects listed in the list, such as public health, communication and agriculture, taxes on entertainment, wealth, and sales tax. The chief minister and all the other ministers of the state take action through various departments like the Public Works Department, Agriculture Department, Health Department, and Education Department. They also need to convince people that proper steps are being taken. They need to answer questions that are asked in the Legislative Assembly. Simultaneously, it is the duty of the government to discuss issues with the media through press conferences.
So children, this was your chapter, Civics chapter 3, how state government works. Hope you have cleared all the doubts and all the things in this video. Still, if you are having any doubt, we will meet again in live class. We'll solve your doubts. Okay student, really very best luck for your terminal exam. Give your best in your terminal exam. All the best students. Goodbye.